Over the last 18 months, I've been putting together this book called Shropshire Butterflies, a poetic and artistic guide to the butterflies of Shropshire. We'd like to share some of the poems with you today. The poets' names are in your programmes. The first butterflies of spring are very exciting. It's an indication that winter is behind us and that we can look forward to warmer, sunnier days. I wrote this poem a couple of miles upriver of Bridgnorth, where river, field and woods lie close together. And it's called The First Butterflies of Spring. A small tortoiseshell with checkered edge of sloping wings, blue spotted lower border, reaches past the pollen dust deep into the nectar of a catkin flower. 7 sounds its path through willow roots. Meanwhile, the lone butterfly lifts, battles against breeze, masquerades as falling leaf, down, up, left, then out of sight. Follow across grass to the edge of woods where wind drops low. See a peacock glide and swoop. 4 monster eye spots, like its feathered namesake, flash as it lands on a dead thistle, briefly basks, lifts off again. Soon from nowhere it finds another. Flutter dancing, they spiral up and up until gliding down they lie refueling from the sunshine. On a lichen-covered honeysuckle sits a comma, orange and brown, like ancient tattered sails its wings. Soon, in hurried flight and figures of 8, it courts another, a mirror image. A brimstone flaps across eye level, large, yellow, an unerring straight path along the verge. Walk its route, stepping over the wood's boundary. Ignore great tips in oak, a green woodpecker's shout, squirrels leaping, even other humans. Keep eye focused on the little. None of the Shropshire species are completely unique to Shropshire, but some are very rare. The only place you can see the silver-studded blue in the West Midlands is at Priest's Heath, a butterfly conservation reserve.
Silver-studded. A lone colony, I'm told. The only one in the Midlands. In the middle of roads and noise, the rushing by of everything. How can this possibly survive without the help of naturalists, some luck, the disinterest of others? And then, there they were. At first, a few weak flying sapphire blue or chocolate butterflies scattered across remains of a wartime airfield, doing their silver-studded thing. Then hundreds and hundreds floating, flapping between the heathers, trefoil and gorse. Breathtaking, idling for a moment, then off again. And for an hour, I watched these blues, their brief lives among the heather, hiding from wind gusts. Bad weather. The walk back is a sobering one, a mix of joy and fear for them, fear for us, and a vague feeling that only if we care for our children can sanctuaries like this be kept, be stocked with gems for the future.
Blues. We've been through hard times. Blues have had it rough. We've been through hard times. Blues have had it rough. You plan survival, babe. You better be real tough. Way back in autumn, yeah, we're knocking at that door. Way back in autumn, yeah, we're knocking at that door. Them dumbass ant kids, they don't know the score. Don't know what we're doing and don't know where we've been. They don't know what we're doing and they don't know where we've been. But they think we their brothers, so they just take us in. Them ants, they feed us honey all winter long. Yeah, them ants, they feed us honey all winter long. By the time spring coming, you bet we're good and strong. came in as caterpillars, and that's no lie. We came in as caterpillars, and that's no lie. But when we come out, then we all set to fly. Our numbers rising now, and we don't aim to lose. Our numbers rising now, and we don't aim to lose. So we got no more reason to sing these blues.
Butterflies can take you to some beautiful places you wouldn't otherwise see. In February last year, I volunteered to do some practical conservation work. We had to drive over an hour to get to a place off any sat-nav's radar. Stiperstone's Valentine, for the small, pearl-bordered fritillary. A foggy February drive via Shrewsbury, then off up through Shelve. We slide on mud so rutted it thuds against our undercarriage. Carrying loppers, saws, spades, pitchfork, some firelighters, we squelch through your wet meadow, then past to the gorse-rich ground with woods and more woods beyond. As a chainsaw goes through birch, beech and ash, two wade downstream to make a natural trough. Others attack gores, then drag the bodies into fire. There's no sign of the Exmoor ponies, nor your overwintering larvae. Not knowing if I'll ever see you peak or drink in your promised colours, I imagine a hot, soothing bath at home and how this place might look come June.
Was it the flick of the Gulf Stream's tail, the must of lion breath, that southern wind that brings swallows and veils of red Saharan dust that made the beech trees suddenly wake, singing, flamboyant with uncountable flickering rings and the almost silent whispering of wings? The tree dizzy with dancers, manifold, orange, amber, umber, marigold, desert reds, trembling, Moroccan gold, painted ladies on a great odyssey from Africa, delicate wings on the wind, moving in clouds over continents and seas. All summer they lingered, feeding, for all we knew, on burdock and the thistles from our fields, sipping rain, nectar, honeydew. They lived to breed, be beautiful and die. All winter ghost butterflies in the tree, and snow like white wings falling from the sky. Before the last section, I'd just like to say that Shropshire Butterflies book will be priced at £11.99, and it can be bought first at a performance and art exhibition at the Dower House Gardens in Morville on June the 11th. The official launch of the book is on July the 23rd in Save Our Butterflies Week. Money from each book sold is being donated to the charity Butterfly Conservation. There's a wonderful symmetry to the butterfly season, and it's because only 5 butterflies in Britain overwinter as actual butterflies. So these are the species you will likely to spot as the temperature rises above 13 degrees in the winter, and the last you'll see in the late autumn. Here are poems about 4 of them.
Small tortoiseshell. I don't know who first named you the small tortoiseshell, or why it caught on. Watching you posing on the buddleia now, it doesn't do you justice. You could be the mandolin, for your wood veneer sheen and your delicate fretwork wings. Try the marmalade, for your bittersweet orange glow, rich and radiant in the sun. Or the tiger leopard, for your terrifying tawniness, your trick with spots and stripes. You could be a fluted wedgwood, for those fancy pale blue chips scalloping your wingtips, or even the small blue fingernail, your unexpected fashion statement, your modest impulse buy. And now you closed your wings to mystify your predators. You look just like a freckled pond sludge. How can a name net you, hold you, pin you down? There you go, with your fumbling, trembling wing flaps wobbling over the fence, whoever you are, small tortoise shell.
Now the next poem is actually by Roger Garfitt, who's in the audience this afternoon. And there's a word in here that I had never come across, Cigan, which is in fact the generic term for Hungarian gypsy. The poem is Red Admiral. We never dreamed they were gypsy colours, those bands of red where earth brown shades into black, and black flashes white and has a sheen of blue. We never saw Tsigan in that orange hem. Someone would shout, "Red Admiral!" And it was as if an ensign were flying beyond the ring of marbles or the first conquer fights, a cutaway from history you could catch and cup in your palm. The trembling of its wings, a kiss like Hardy's, an initiation into the band of brothers. You hesitated to let it go, to become a star on the chest or a bloodstain on the quarterdeck. We never suspected it had flown out of its own deep song, the innate impulse that sent its forefathers north in the spring. Roma, who would mate over the ivy clumps of a new island. Or that these colours, unfurled from a tent in the nettles, these zigs of red flickering over the apples we scrubbed from back gardens, would have to be struck against the trunk of a tree, the bark of its underwings turning ghostly in the frost.
Comma. Flitting low between the jagged margins of the orchard, comma. Hedgerow, comma. Garden, comma. Making a series of brief pauses on the buddleia, comma. Asters, comma. Thistles, comma. And here it is again, thriving amongst the currant bushes, comma. Hop leaves, comma. Nettles, comma. Escaping the butterfly nets and cupped hands, comma. Taking possession of the air, comma. Fluttering out of reach, comma. Becoming an apostrophe.
Brimstone. Often I've been cheered on a hard, frost-steaming day in March, turning over the clay with a heavy heart, to see you so early up and about, winging it here and there, like a child's dab of sunshine with your orange spot. Or on a late October evening, sipping the last of purpleness from the tired old greys of a buddleia. The first to arrive, the last to depart. Is it because you have learned to hibernate, twirling closed up like a green-veined leaf in the ivy tod or cobwebbed shed? Is it because you have learned to wait out the cold, the disappointment that makes you such a welcome star? Yellowbird, some call you, tilting your wings at right angles to the best of the sun. No talk of dying out for you, my friend. Original butter-coloured fly, heartening as a first primrose glimpsed along the hard-edged way. Thank you.